So what's in here in your kit? Can you tell me what are these
Well, it's
creatures here?
easiest to just go through the instruction manual with the kit
Oh, you have
because
the
there are so
instruction
many
manual.
different tests in here.
Okay.
So in the test kit here, we can test for hardness, iron, pH, nitrate, manganese, total dissolved solids, TDS is also is called. There's a soap demonstration also in it. The soap demonstration involves this right here. So this is kind of like a water softener,
Okay.
but small. So we hook that up to your faucet. Soft water comes out here. Usually that's what we use these beakers for, but I use it for a test. But we will put your regular water in one, soft water in the other. Put 1 drop of Dawn in the tube. We shake it, and you see a very big difference in how the soap will actually mix in the water. So it's really incredible how much hard water really affects things. So,
So when you have hard water, what's the effect of that?
dry skin. It also affects the effectiveness of soap.
All right.
So if you have hard water, you're going to have to use more soap than if you have soft water. One way you kind of actually know when you have soft water is actually also a complaint that people also give us is soft water. When you're taking a shower, it feels like the soap won't rinse off of you. But it's actually not the soap not rinsing off of you, it's actually just soft water. So you're gonna feel slick. You're gonna feel, it's almost like a slimy feel, but that's actually just the natural body oils that you're not supposed to wash off of your body. Because humans, and probably some animals, take too many baths, and when you do that, you rinse away like all the natural oils, and then your skin gets dry. So that sliminess is actually a good thing. It's not dirty, it's moisture, and you don't want to rinse away moisture. But we're so used to hard water, we want to get rid of that feeling. But you're clean and you're gonna have soft skin, so it's actually a good thing to have. So you just have to get used to it, or have dry, cracked skin. All right, so today we're going to be testing a water sample for iron. The sample is pretty much very high level of iron, so we can't just test it directly. We're going to have to cut the water sample with some deionized water in order to get a proper reading, because if I just go straight water sample, it's going to go over 7. So we need to find out how much iron is in there accurately. So what we're going to do, we're going to use our test tubes. We have the sample level is right here before it starts to get a little frosted. The whole test tube completely is going to be 4 samples. Because of how high this is, we are going to cut it down where it's going to be only a quarter of it will be the water. The rest will be deionized water. So just because I know the samples, I don't have to fill every little bit. Again, I know I can just fill up the rest with the deionized water and get the 1-to-4 ratio. So I just need to get up to this one line with this. But before I do that, I'm just going to give it a little shake just to make sure there's no settling, that the sample is still moving around. You can see how much the iron is in there. I took this morning. Usually I do it at the job site, this test, but because of having to do so much with this, I did it here. We got a little too much. We can shake a little out. Shook a little too much out. Let's put a little back. Usually I do this with like some goggles or something, just so I look like a lab technician. that really impresses the customer. They're like, you look like a scientist when you're doing that. So, but right now I left them in the truck, so I'm just going to do this without any eye protection. So I'm going to look slightly dumber than normal when I'm doing this. All right, so we're going to fill this up where it goes right there. So that's deionized water, completely pure water. And so now, quarter of it is the sample, quarter is the deionized water. So whatever reaction we get, we have to times it by 4. We have to use this other tube to be able to tell the transparency of the water with the sample here, with the sample wheel. So we are going to keep water in 1 just to cut it for the sample. So let's get it. So we can actually lose 50% of this and still be okay. I got right at the lines first try, so that's usually doesn't happen. Usually I'm splashing around quite a bit trying to get it right at that level. So now we have the iron test here that we put in here. We have to leave that in this for 5 minutes after we get it mixed up nice and good. So you gotta flick it to make sure that everything's settled to the bottom of the packet.
So what do you call that thing again?
Go there. You can see it's starting to react instantly. So we know that's going to be definitely showing something. So Amazon time 5 minutes. So we will
5 minutes starting now.
we'll go ahead and get that to settle for 5 minutes, and in 5 minutes hopefully we will be able to look through these windows and see exactly where it is. We can see that right now it's showing probably about 4.5. So but once we let it sit for 5 minutes, then we'll have an accurate reading. So we'll be back to you when it's done. All right, so 30 seconds left till the 5 minute time for this. Usually it's good to use a neutral background when you're looking through this, because if you're looking at something darker, it can really throw it off. We have 2 different discs to put in this, one for daylight, one for indoor light, because indoor light is going to have a lot warmer effect. Daylight has a very wide effect. It's 5,250 Kelvin, like that even matters to people. Amazon stop. So that was our 5 minutes. Amazon stop. She doesn't listen. She's a woman. So anyway, like I said, Amazon stop. All right. Thank you, dear. Okay. So she wants time for you again if you don't say that. Anyway, so we're going to look at this. We look, judging by the light, I think I'm close to. I'm going to go with 5. So that would be 20 for the iron, which is very high. Tests in the past have showed 18, so that should be pretty close. So we'll treat this like it's 20, because 18 to 20, that is very close. Well conditions can change, so you don't have to worry about over treating the iron really, especially like a small margin like that. So when you have iron that high, you can't just use a regular water softener, because a regular water softener cannot get that much iron out of your water. It can get some iron out of the water, but going all the way up to 20, that is something where you're going to have a dedicated filter for the iron. You might even have to do some injection of chemicals into the water, unfortunately. So, but the best thing for you to do when you are in a position like this with a very high iron is Water-Right has some very qualified representatives. Go to them. Tell them your results. Tell them exactly how you did it. They will tell you exactly what you need so you can give your customer water that they will love. So water can be treated. It can be very hard to treat, but if you rely on the experts like at Water-Right, you can be guaranteed to give your customers a very good quality water. So never trust too much in yourself. Always rely on the experts. So this is Jonathan with Collier Services, and hopefully you got a little bit out of this to know what's involved in just testing. The treating the water we will address later to show you what has to be done. But right now we're just focusing on training or testing so that you can see what needs to be done to get a proper test. Because something like this, usually we don't have to cut the water. Usually we can just do straight water for the test, but when it's something this high, you really have to cut the sample down so you can get an accurate reading.